City of Richmond has a program called Partners for Beautification. And up to date, it's been mainly adopt a street, adopt a park, clean up litter, and so on. 2017, I said, well, I have all these trees, and I said, I'd like adopt a bird habitat. And they said, sure, why not? Originally, when I had this property developed, I had some periwinkle put in around the border of the small grassed area, and the rest was just left wild. Over the decades, the periwinkle just took over the entire forest floor. So in the pandemic, beginning of it, I spent a lot of time cleaning the invasives of periwinkle from the forest floor. So now you're seeing more native plants coming up, like salal and the fern. In the earlier days, when I was growing up, this was a lot of farmland. And Richmond always was this garden city, and things grew here very well because, of course, we're on the Fraser Delta. I mean, that's why this is such an important location for birds, because of the biodiversity, and it's on the Pacific Flyway, on the birds' migration route. So Richmond has always been a garden city, and that's something that we would like to see maintained. All of these trees seeded on their own. And in fact, because I didn't really spend that much time outdoors, I didn't even notice them and how big they grew. But I noticed sometimes people come to the house and stand on the deck and they'll see this tree and it's like, oh, you should cut that tree. It's too big. It'll fall in the house. But I've always thought of trees as my friend. That doesn't worry me. And they say that if a tree is started from a seed or from very tiny state, small state, it becomes better rooted. So I think these trees are pretty well rooted. One raven that came, and it appeared to be an old bird. It would hang around, it would stay at the water, and it would just watch what was happening around it. It spent a lot of time. It kept coming every few days. So the next morning, when I came downstairs, I looked and this bird was dead. It had died under a chair on my deck. I felt completely overwhelmed with the honor that this bird felt safe enough to spend his or her final days in the yard, and to find that it was a peaceful place, a place that they could just rest and observe and enjoy the last moments of their life. This is where we buried the raven. You could say we are all one family. And if you have family, you invite them in for a meal and you take care of them. So, in that regard, the birds come, who knows where they come from or where they go to. As we develop, we have to keep in mind where are those birds going to find food and shelter if they need it. And for the birds that stay here and make their nests, well, what trees are they going to nest in? Birds don't like you don't see them in the little manicured, decorative kinds of trees. Those are not made for birds. You see the birds in the big, tall trees. We do them a disservice when we take away and we don't give back. Like, how do we mitigate ecological loss? We develop a neighborhood and then take out all the big trees, and then what do we have in return? What we have in return is very important. Boulevards don't have to be just a tree every here and there. We could have bushes as well. We could have shrubs or bushes that provide food for birds. There's lots of innovative ideas that people are doing all around the world. Birds Canada has just come up with a good resource, a video resource of how to make better backyards for birds. So that kind of information, it's there's you can connect with birders, with conservation groups. I mean, find like-minded people, talk to people, and research. It's not hard to do, but all you have to do is start. You can start and then it can grow from there. And just leaving pieces, a little part of your property wild is just, it does so much for our ecosystem. And if you don't have space, support the parks or the city you live in, and help them in their endeavors. We can all play a part in making a more biologically diverse landscape for our birds. It's the web of life, the circle of life, and it's right in front of each one of us.